Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Arjun Chaudhary. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Thursday, the 11th of September. Indian agencies arrest Sri Lankan on charges of spying for Pakistan. India promises $2 billion in aid and reconstruction to Afghanistan. And journalists blame Pakistan of curbing press freedom in Gilgit Baltistan. And now for all the details. Indian security agencies have nabbed a Sri Lankan national accused of spying for Pakistani intelligence services. The arrest has once again highlighted Islamabad's ploy to use neighbouring countries to wage proxy war against India.
India's National Investigation Agency or NIA arrested Arun Selvarajan from southern Chennai on Wednesday for allegedly providing information on India's key security installations to Pakistan. According to NIA, Selvarajan was arrested with photos and videos of vital places in the provincial capital, including that of a military academy. NIA said Selvarajan was passing the vital information to his handlers in the Pakistan High Commission at Colombo. Investigators suspected that he was plotting a 26/11 Mumbai terror attack model operation in Chennai. This is not the first time Islamabad has used its diplomatic mission to fund espionage against India. In April, another Lankan national working for Pakistan was arrested by Indian agencies. Mohammad Sakir Hussain confessed that he was being personally handled by a high-ranking Pakistani High Commission official, Amir Zubair Siddique, in Colombo. Hussain was entrusted to carry a recce on the same lines as David Coleman Headley before the deadly Mumbai attacks in November 2008. He was also directed to conduct reconnaissance and attack the US consulate in Chennai and Israeli consulate in Bangalore.
India has promised an aid of $2 billion to Afghanistan and assured cooperation for reconstruction activities. Both countries also agreed on escalating trade ties during Indian Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj's Kabul visit.
Aiming at improving strategic ties, Indian Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj, along with Afghan President Hamid Karzai, jointly raised the largest Afghan national flag made by India at a hilltop in Kabul on Wednesday. Speaking at the ceremony, Swaraj said India will remain committed to helping the Afghan people and announced that India would be contributing $1 million to maintain the national flag monument site. Swaraj said Kabul was an important partner of New Delhi and all efforts will be taken to assist the country in its rebuilding.
India will always be Afghanistan's first strategic partner. We are committed to assisting Afghanistan in whatever manner is possible within our means.
Swaraj also inaugurated a new $40 million Indian embassy building in the Afghan capital, which features an integrated security system. While discussing political and security situation in Afghanistan, India promised to step up security cooperation and provide assistance in speeding up development projects there. Afghanistan has been seeking India's support in providing military hardware to help it meet security challenges ahead of the NATO troops' withdrawal by the end of this year. Swaraj's visit comes in the course of fears of the re-emergence of the Taliban and other Al-Qaeda-linked elements in Afghanistan as it awaits its first democratic transfer of power.
On to some other developments now. The media fraternity in Gilgit Baltistan is facing the brunt of reporting the harsh realities of the Himalayan region. Journalists say they're forced to work under pressure and government diktats.
The remote region of Gilgit Baltistan is simmering with discontent for some time now. With no access to international media, whatever little information about this region trickles out is through the reports of a few fearless journalists defying the dictates of the Pakistani agencies. But with a move to curb the freedom of press, Pakistani authorities are piling pressure on the media persons to restrain them from reporting the real picture in Gilgit.
गिलगित बल्तिस्तान में जो नहायत अहम किस्म के इशूज़ होते हैं बाज़ औक़ात जिनकी जब हम रिपोर्टिंग करने की कोशिश करते हैं तो ऐसे हलके हैं जो हमें उससे रोकने की कोशिश करते हैं। इंतज़ामी सतह पर बहुत से ऐसी ख़बरें आती हैं जो हम पब्लिश करना चाहते हैं, लेकिन हम पर इंतहाई शदीद दबाव डाला जाता है, उन्हें रोकने की कोशिश की जाती है।
Gilgit Baltistan is a part of the erstwhile princely state of Jammu and Kashmir and has been illegally occupied by Pakistan for more than 6 decades now. Most media houses receive constant threats. Despite repeated requests, no security is provided and the complaints filed are not even registered.
जो सरकारी इदारे हैं, जहाँ से जो फैसला साज ऐवान हैं, जो हुकूमती हल्के हैं, वहाँ से सही मालूमात तक रसाई, इंफॉर्मेशन हासिल करना, इंफॉर्मेशन तक एक्सेस हमें जो है वो उसमें बहुत मुश्किलात पेश आती हैं।
Bukhari accused government of making tall claims of empowering journalists but not doing anything in reality.
सहाफ़त का जो शोबा है उसको तरक्की देने के लिए हुकूमत ने मुख्तलिफ मंसूबे तो कागज़ों की हद तक तो बनाए हैं, लेकिन अमली तौर पर उन मंसूबों पर ताहाल काम शुरू नहीं हो सका है। अब भी गिलगित बल्तिस्तान में कई ऐसे अजला हैं जहाँ पर प्रेस क्लब की बिल्डिंग मौजूद नहीं है, जहाँ पर सहाफ़ियों को फ़ोन फैक्स की सहूलत हासिल नहीं है।
The rising attacks on journalists and suppression of media freedom have forced many to join the widening protests against Pakistani misrule and urge the government to respect their rights to report freely.
Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif has said his government is making all efforts to rescue those affected in the worst floods in the country. This comes even as thousands still await rescue in eastern Punjab province, where the death toll has crossed 200 so far.
As the situation remains bleak, Pakistan authorities blew up a strategic mound to shield eastern Jhang after predicting more flooding in days ahead. The move, aimed at preventing further flood damage in the district, came after a peak flood predicted to be the highest in the recorded history of the river Chenab was expected to pass through the area in the next 3 days. More than 500,000 people still remain stranded in the floods that began in the Himalayan region of Kashmir last week after days of heavy rains. The floodwaters have destroyed thousands of homes and large tracts of farmland too. Rescue teams have installed 7 helicopters and 90 boats in Chang and nearby district of Chiniot. According to reports, the calamity has inundated 1,457 villages in several districts of Punjab and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, the worst affected provinces. Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif said that the government is taking all possible steps to rehabilitate the victims.
हुकूमत आपके घरों को दोबारा तामीर करने के लिए, अपने मामलात को ठीक करने के लिए इंशाल्लाह आपकी पूरी मदद करेगी, पूरा आपका साथ देगी और पीछे नहीं हटेगी इंशाल्लाह, चाहे कितना भी खर्च हो जाए हम करेंगे इंशाल्लाह इसके लिए।
Floods and landslides have damaged roads, bridges and telephone lines, leaving more than 1 million people affected.
Any hopes to end the political deadlock in Afghanistan suffered yet another setback after presidential frontrunner Ashraf Ghani rejected of entering into a power-sharing agreement with his rival Abdullah Abdullah.
Ashraf Ghani on Wednesday ruled out a two-headed government in Afghanistan, clearing air about sharing equal powers with Abdullah Abdullah to form a national government. The announcement came as a setback to the United States, which has been trying to bring the two candidates on negotiating table. Ghani refused of supporting two power centers in the proposed national government.
وحدت حکومت کوم حکومت ملی وحدت حکومت هغه حکومت ده چې په یو واحده قوي اراده باندې د افغانستان ستونزې حل نه دا چې تقسیمی او دوه سره ولري.
Ghani also rejected Abdullah's allegations, questioning the legitimacy of the polls.
امروز در مشروعیت انتخابات ما از نگاه جامعه بین‌المللی شک و شبهه نیست. همه انشالله تعالی حاضر هستند که از نتایج و از مشروعیت نتایج دفاع کنند.
The two former cabinet ministers under outgoing President Hamid Karzai have been locked in a bitter battle for power for over 2 months now. All efforts to find a successor to President Karzai, who was originally scheduled to leave office last week, have failed so far. This has raised serious challenges to the war-torn Afghanistan's future, with the US-led NATO forces gearing up to withdraw from the country after a nearly 13-year-long operation which ousted the Taliban regime and restored democracy there.
Tiger, tiger, burning bright. The famous lines reverberated loud on the streets of southern Kerala as scores of tigers enthrall onlookers while bidding adieu to the big festival of Onam.
Dancing to the traditional drum beats were scores of dancers painted in tiger stripes. The streets of Thrissur came alive on Wednesday, as marked the culmination of its biggest festival of Onam amid pomp and show. The famous ceremony brought hundreds of onlookers and tourists thronged the tourist hub in Kerala as the tigers made their way into the city. Locally known as Pulakali or tiger dance, it is an integral part of the Onam celebrations in the southern state. Many tourists said it was a unique experience.
This is my first visit here and I'm seeing them getting painted and all that. I came in early to see them get painted. I can see the details, the bright colors they're using. It's so exciting. I've never seen something like this before. The tiger shape that they're painting on their body and all that.
The tiger dance marks the end of the 3-day-long Onam celebrations in Kerala, which began on Sunday. The Harvest Festival commemorates the supposed return of legendary King Mahabali, who ruled over an egalitarian and just society in the state. People prepare floral carpets locally called Pukkalam and special dishes called Onasadya to mark the occasion.
Leave aside ghosts and spirits. Bollywood this weekend gets scarier as it delves into frightening cinephans with a different kind of creature. Take a look.
Fear knows no limits, and giving a new face to horror is this weekend's release, Creature. The film, which stars actor Bipasha Basu, also marks the Bollywood debut of Pakistani model turned actor Imran Abbas Naqvi.
How do we get rid of this?
The team took to a promotion in entertainment capital Mumbai. Basu was joined in by director Vikram Bhatt along with others. The duo, which has already worked in 2012 horror film Ras 3, was all praise for each other. Basu said Creature was one of its kind films in India.
Creature दूसरी supernatural film से बहुत अलग है, thrilling film है, edge of the seat है, exciting लगेगी, आप लोग 3D halls में जाके देखिए.
Bhatt thanked Basu for supporting his unique idea for the film.
बिपाशा मेरी दोस्त है, बहुत अच्छी एक्टर है और जब भी मैं कोई ऐसा क्रैकपॉट आइडिया लेके आता हूँ कि बिपाशा क्रीचर पे बनाते हैं तो वो बेचारी हाँ बोल देती है और हमेशा फंस जाती है मेरे ये सारी स्क्रीन्स में.
Bhatt called in close friends from the fraternity for a special screening of the film. Actor Sharman Joshi said the film scared him to the hilt.
बिल्कुल डरे, बहुत डरे और 3D effect है उसका, so it's like breathtaking. It's like really almost had my heart in my mouth a couple of times, and it was really exciting.
Creature is a monster thriller based on the concept of Brahm Rakshas or demon spirits of Hindu legends. It is the story about Ahana as she battles a creature based on Indian mythology as she transforms from a vulnerable and lonely girl to a powerful woman.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude the top stories once again. Indian agencies arrest Sri Lankan on charges spying for Pakistan. India promises $2 billion in aid and reconstruction to Afghanistan. And journalists blame Pakistan of curbing press freedom in Gilgit Baltistan. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.